Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the first 5 mods every Subaru WRX owner should do. These are budget-friendly mods, somewhat, but we're actually going to take this video inside because I got out here to my filming location, where you can see it's a pretty nice location actually, and it's starting to storm. Rain, wind. Hopefully you can still hear me because it's so windy, but we're going to talk about the first 5 things every WRX owner, STI owner, every Subaru owner should do with their platform, whether it's a WRX or an STI, because this is one, a question that I get so often, and 2, I think it's a key thing in making your WRX and STI different from every other one that you see on the streets. So I've done most of the things on my 2016 Subaru WRXi, so let me roll an intro here so you guys can see what I drive. But yeah, that's basically it. So let's get into the studio and we'll talk about it, and I'll show you guys pictures of all the parts, how much they cost, and the bottom line for what you should do. We're also going to talk about some runners up. I'm probably going to tell you about like 10 or 15 different things here, but we'll do them in order of what I think is important. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get it started.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that intro. Again, guys, we are inside for another video. I apologize, it's just getting cold out, and I thought it would be better to be inside for the first 5 mods so I can not only show you guys photos, but talk about prices, used prices, where to buy, what the best strategies are. So again, guys, in this video, we're talking the top 5 first modifications you should do to your Subaru WRX or your Subaru WRX STI, however you want to say it. I'm going to talk about what the mods are. It's gonna be 5 with some runners up because there are 5 that clearly stand out, but then there's like 8 or so that I really think everyone should do if they can. And then we're gonna talk about what they cost and why and when I think you should be looking for used and what they're gonna cost used, because the Subaru WRX and STI market for parts is, yes, new is great, but used is also available, cheap, and easy to buy without many issues. So we'll talk about that all. Before we get into the video, if you guys want to see more WRX, STI, Subaru content, other automotive content, there's lots coming to this channel. Installs on my 2016 WRX that you saw in that intro to this video, but also to my daily driver, which is now a Subaru Impreza, and the few new cars that are be coming to the channel. And we're going to talk about some finances with cars and stuff on this channel too. I'm hoping to get way more information, way more stuff, way more news, because lots of cars have been coming out, big automotive news, videos to come. And we're going to be increasing, and this is the most exciting thing and the reason why you should smash the subscribe button, because usually I ask, but I really think you should smash it in this instance, and I guess I'm still asking, but we're going to be increasing the post rate for this channel. I'm going to be coming out with more than 1 video a week when I can, but most likely. And I'm way ahead of the game right now, so we're gonna maintain that. So we're gonna have at least 1 video a week for the next 3 or 4 months, which is really exciting. So lots of information to learn, lots of cool content. I know this channel isn't so much about vlogging. It's gonna become more like that in the spring when it gets warmer, and a little bit soon. We're gonna have more kind of vlog content, but right now we're focusing on the basis of these cars. Information, information, information. I wanna make sure you guys are as smart as possible when you get into the automotive game, because it is a game, and the smartest person usually ends up on top. So let's talk about the top 5, yes 5, the top 5 things, mods, parts that you can put on your car. Guys, number 1 on our list is something that I'm very passionate about, that I think that we should all do, and it doesn't ring everyone's bells, but I think adding an exhaust to your Subaru WRX or STI is a must do for that car and for that platform. Whether you're somebody that wants to hear the car more, whether you're somebody that wants the aggressive rear profile, whether you're somebody who wants to appreciate what's happening in the engine, an exhaust can do a lot of things for your car and for you as a driver. Now, myself, I like a loud exhaust. I think a lot of people do, but there are a lot of options for the exhaust that aren't necessarily loud. You know, they just add more performance sound and really round the car up. Now, I've got 2 massive pet peeves. Number 1, my biggest pet peeve, when I see a modified Subaru WRX or STI, when I see it drive off and away from me, because I'm either following it, next to it, having fun with it, regardless of wherever I'm at, the thing that catches my eye most is when they're running a stock cat back exhaust, stock axle back exhaust, where I can see the the big fat mufflers and small tips. Now, you get the same profile with some aftermarket exhausts. I think you spend so much time on your car and then that happens and I'm just disappointed. You know, it's just disappointing. So, from visual standpoint, increasing the tip size and removing those mufflers will make the rear of your car look a lot better. Not only that, you can tie a very nice diffuser in with your rear exhaust depending on what you're going for. I also think it's the first step to getting towards a J-pipe, which is such a powerful modification to these cars. I highly encourage everybody that asks me about the top 5 first modifications, because this is like the most asked question on this channel, start with an exhaust, maybe start with an axle back. So what are your options? Obviously a muffler delete is going to be the cheapest, whether you go axle back or cat back, but that's going to increase the noise. That being said, my top 3 exhausts are probably the nameless with 4-inch tips and muffler deletes. Then comes the AWE and maybe the NVIDIA R400. They're all kind of the same. The NVIDIA is probably the quietest of the 3. Those are 3 of the louder options. The Remark setup is also pretty dang good. That's gonna be your cheapest option and that's gonna be your most entry level. So what you can expect to spend, I would typically say if you're buying a new exhaust, expect to spend around $1,000. It certainly can be lower and higher depending on the exhaust you choose. And then if you just want to try an axle back and you want to try to play that game, I highly recommend using a Remark product and spending about $300 on a muffler deleted axle back exhaust. Leave the cat back. It's not gonna be the perfect pitch of your exhaust, but it's a great option to start getting into that game and understanding what you want to do. If you're not sure whether you want a loud car, for $300 you can understand like 75% of the potential of these cars sound-wise and the way it makes you feel when you drive. So that is a great option. Now guys, I did say that I would talk about the used market, and that is very important here. Now buying a new exhaust is great, but exhausts are exhausts. It's not like you're coming with a massive warranty. You know, you do have a warranty on your exhaust and you know that you're gonna get something that fits. If it doesn't fit, it's on to the manufacturer to fix it. Now a new exhaust also looks great, but when you really think about it, an exhaust really is just tips sticking out of the back of your car, unless somebody's really inspecting it. So I highly recommend, if you've got your eyes set on an exhaust, look for one used first, for many reasons. One, it's gonna be significantly cheaper. You can expect like a 30% reduction in cost of the exhaust. I picked up my nameless catback exhaust for only $450, 500 bucks. And it had been on a WRX for maybe 5,000 miles, 3.5 months. So what a great deal. But I also, for environmental impact reasons, reusing things that would otherwise be thrown out is a great thing. It's something I like to push. It's a small part of this because I know most of you guys aren't going to care, which is unfortunate, but that's the reality. So, used exhausts, very positive. You're more likely to see a bigger deal on a used exhaust if you go full catback and not axle back. Now let's move on to the second thing that I think is a very powerful first modification you can do. This is a pretty inexpensive modification. It's gonna be adding a front lip to your WRX. You can see in the photo that I have right here, I've added an Icon Motorsports front lip. I'm not plugging them or anything. It's just a cheap front lip that you get to paint yourself, put on your car yourself, and it's really inexpensive. However, adding a front lip, especially to the 2015 Plus platform for WRXs and STIs, changes the car. It makes the car so much more aggressive, and if you guys disagree with me, I challenge you to put your car, if you don't have one, up against a similar WRX or STI that has a front lip, and then talk to me. It wasn't the first thing that I wanted. Having put the front lip on, that made more impact on my car than pretty much anything else from a visual impact standpoint. It was remarkable. And the front lip is actually one of the few items that I'm gonna say you guys should buy used. So you get hardware if it comes with it, you get installation instructions if it comes with it, and it's not damaged. Front lips are the type of thing where they're not that expensive. They're not made to be expensive unless you go carbon fiber, because people scratch them all the time. So spend a little bit of money, like $100 on Amazon. I'll link everything in the description below, guys. Don't worry, everything's gonna be linked in the description below, as much as I can, because a lot of things are actually out of stock. But I'm gonna, again, description below, as much as I can. You can get a front lip for like $120 max, and you're gonna have to paint it yourself, so maybe like $7, $8 for some paint. That's pretty much it. It's gonna change your car. Number 3 on our list, and you're gonna be surprised by this, but it's both, it looks good and it's a practicality thing. Rally armor mud flaps, or mud flaps in general. Now, a lot of you guys are going to kind of gawk at this, because when you own a WRX or an STI, mud flaps are either a yes or a no. There's no in between. Now, I understood that there was a yes and a no. I've always been interested in the rally look, so I said yes, I love it, right? I didn't love it at first. Having had them on the car, I really think they widen the profile of the car. They do a lot for it aesthetically. You can start a color scheme. I've got black and red on mine. But from a practicality standpoint, the amount of money it saves me and time it saves me from cleaning my fenders, my wells, everything, the amount of debris and tar it catches on the highway is incredible. I also think that they play a very key role in when you're looking head on a WRX, it really widens the standpoint of the car. So yes, it made it onto my top 5 because it's an inexpensive thing to do. You're looking at about 180, 190 bucks new. Whether you buy them new or used doesn't matter to me. The used market isn't as gracious as other products. You're probably still looking at about 120 bucks new for a pair of Rally Armor mud flaps. I highly recommend the Rally Armor over any other ones. I'll link them in the description below if you need to get some on your car ASAP, especially with the snow. It's gonna save you time and money cleaning your car. It's gonna keep that paint, especially on the Subarus, it's gonna keep your paint from chipping, from wearing, wear patterns. It's gonna save you time and money, I promise you. Number 4, guys, and it's crazy. I really haven't talking about too much performance because honestly, these cars are pretty fun out of the gate. So I'm talking about my top 5, and this is top 5 from being an owner, from being an enthusiast, from seeing these cars. If you're gonna go the performance route, you need to go all there. And I think most people aren't interested in doing that. Now, having owned this car, I love the way it drives because I'm tuned and everything, but I do all these things first before I did that, to be honest with you, because the car has to embody what you want. So number 4 on our list, and this is an easy number 4, it may have even sat at number 1. The problem is this is where it gets expensive. I think aggressive wheels are very important in making your WRX nice, unique, your STI nice and unique. Now, caveat, the reason why this is not number 1, the wheels that come on the STI and on the limited WRXs and the performance pack WRXs are awfully nice. And I don't have any qualms with them. I think they look good. And that's the only reason this isn't number 1. Because honestly, I think a new set of wheels, especially getting away from the base and premium wheels, makes these cars incredibly aggressive. I'm not telling you guys to go out and get, 1, a very expensive set of wheels, because this can be done cheaply, nor am I telling you to get direct replacements. Number 4 on my list is wide, and larger if you have 17-inch wheels. Now I'm running 18-inch wheels. You could go 19-inch wheels, but what's important here is you get wider wheels with an aggressive offset or wheel spacers, but I really think wheels with a high concavity, whatever color scheme you have, and an aggressive stance significantly change the car. Now I wish the photo here exemplified that. I'll throw some photos up now, but my wheels, 1, not only is this the most noticed thing about my car, it not only is the most commented part that I've inserted in my car. Like the majority of questions about parts that have gone in my car, other than maybe the Seikan head unit, just because people throw that in there, it's my most watched video. It's about the wheels. Now what's gonna blow your mind? You increase the size of wheels, you increase all the aspects of your wheels, you're gonna need new tires. Wheels and tires, installed, $1,200. And that's because I didn't wait for a sale. So let that sink in. For $1,200, you can not only use your stock wheels as winter tires. If you live in a snowy area, you can throw winter tires under those wheels. That's your winter wheel setup. But you can have brand new, good looking wheels with tires, $1,200. And they're not crappy tires. They're not top of the line, but you know, I'm running Avid One wheels, which is like, everybody's like, oh, that's super cheap. I've had 3 sets now. I sold my first set with my first WRX. I'm on my second set now because I hit a piece of concrete on the road and only 2 of them broke. And they didn't really break, they just damaged the wheels beyond what I wanted to fix. It was actually cheaper just to buy a new wheel and a new tire because I got flats. So that's what's amazing. And I honestly can tell you it changes the car so much. Would I buy used wheels? If you're interested in the looks of more expensive wheels, definitely look for used wheels, but make sure you know how to look and buy used wheels. And I've got a video coming out in the future about tire and wheel size guides and how to buy them and everything you need to know pertaining to the Subaru WRX and STI platform. I'll talk a little bit more about there because it's an in-depth topic. I would look used, but if you're into the Avids and you're okay with a cheaper set of wheels that you know that you're not gonna have forever, but you can have for a long time, and if something goes wrong, it's a cheap thing to replace. So I don't really understand why everybody hates on cheap wheels unless they come from the factory like bent or something's wrong with them, try buying them new because you get like a warranty. You get a little bit of stuff. Number 5 on my list is something that also probably would have been further up, but I know a lot of people aren't going to go this route because of warranties. Number 5 on my list is a COBB ACCESSPORT. Now I drive a 2016 Subaru WRX. I've driven basically every year WRX. I've spent a lot of time in WRXs and STIs, and I can honestly tell you the COBB ACCESSPORT is going to change the way you look at your car. Now, off the bat, it's not going to do much for you. At most, you're going to get an OTS tune, which is going to change the car. It's going to change the power, it's going to change the throttle response, it's going to change and make the power delivery more linear, which is really going to change the way you drive and enjoy the car, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people, they feel that way but don't know how to articulate it. It really, you see more of a linear power band, and that honestly changes these cars so much, especially with the stock tune Subaru has on it. But ultimately what you're getting out of an ACCESSPORT is, one, you're going to reduce rev hang, which is a serious problem basically 2015 to 2018 and sometimes 2019 and 2020. It's not perfect, but it's going to really improve that. And second, it's going to open up the ability to tune your car, get more out of your car, customize it to what you do. It's the stepping stone. It's also a really important monitoring tool. So even if you're not going to run a tune, I think you can install a COBB ACCESSPORT and not run a tune. I think you can remain stock tune. I'm sure you can. I'm sure there's a way to make it happen. But you can monitor your car and understand what's happening, and that's incredibly important because, you know, these cars are reliable, but it's always good to understand exactly what's happening with your car, especially because they're direct injection cars, right? You're responsible for exactly what you put in your engine, and you're responsible for the way the engine ultimately, you're responsible ultimately for the health of the engine. It's a different story. I've got other videos covering that. The ACCESSPORT's number 5, used 100%. Although I love COBB, I've had great customer experience, especially I've had great customer experience owning a used one that I bought used, but I would look at your local market or check out the AP guys. A little bit more expensive than going out and trying to make offers all the time, but the one thing you get with that is a guarantee that you're gonna get an ACCESSPORT that is unmarried and it has a warranty. I mean, if it comes and it doesn't work, you can send it back and the owner will take care of you. It's a great company. Couldn't tell you enough about how good of an option that is and how safe it is, because again, I bought my ACCESSPORT used. I looked for it for a long time. I got a great deal. I ended up paying $400 for my ACCESSPORT. Big deal if you know that they cost a lot of money new. But that being said, you can get them for about $500 to $525 on the AP guys, depending on the condition of the ACCESSPORT, and it's guaranteed to work. That being said, the availability of used ACCESSPORTs is not always an open market. There aren't always a lot of used ACCESSPORTs. So be aware that if you really want one at the time you're looking for one and you're like, I need it this week, you might have to buy it used. And that's totally fine because a lot of people buy them used. So I hope you enjoyed the top 5. Now I've got a few honorable mentions for you guys before you go and before we end this video. We're gonna mention 2 of those honorable mentions. There's actually a lot. We've got a video coming about the top 5 modifications for these cars that are under $100, which is a huge deal because there are tons of options under $100, if you can believe it. And we're gonna talk about used under $100 and the best finds that you can get for under $100. So look out for that video when it comes. But honorable mentions for this car. Number 1 is going to be the COBB intake. And that's because it's a cheap intake. It's widely used around tuners. It gets the best results. You're not gonna see a lot of power from the COBB intake, but what it's gonna do for you guys, it's gonna change your driving experience. The car is gonna breathe a little bit more. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear the whoosh and the shh, without having to have a bypass valve, a blow-off valve, a hybrid valve, any of that good stuff, any kind of recirc. You're gonna get that straight from the intake. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna let you open your car up a little bit more when you're getting it tuned. The COBB intake's gonna be what most tuners wanna work with. A lot of guys don't wanna work with other intakes. I don't have any problems myself with other intakes. I think they're awesome, but a lot of tuners won't work with them. So understand with your tuner, but what it's really gonna do, you guys can run an OTS tune with a COBB intake, Stage 1 Plus, or Stage 2 if you want, but Stage 1 Plus, if you don't have a J-pipe, pretty safe, pretty decent, pretty conservative tune, but you're gonna hear your car. It's gonna change your driving experience. You're gonna feel more connected to the car. It's just gonna enhance your experience with the car. The second honorable mention, and this is kind of a package thing that we're gonna talk about more in our under 100 top 5 modification video because you can section them out, but it's just overall exterior lighting, especially in the front of the car. I'm talking dedicated sea lights, halos, demon eyes, whatever you wanna do, fog lights if you want them, fog lights if you don't want them, turning signal, bezels, I forget what they're called, F1 light in the rear. I think these cars suffer. They absolutely suffer when you're driving around and there's not something unique that you can see from the car from far away. Maybe it's the F-light that identifies you. I think one of the problems is that I hop on the highway, I'm driving on the highway, I see another one of these cars, it just doesn't stand out. I see someone coming at me when we're driving, I'm gonna pass them. I don't really know it's a WRX from far away. I do because of the lighting pattern generally with these cars, unless you've done something crazy. That being said, I think they cry for some good lights. Now the STI and the Limited do come with cool things with their lights. They're good lights. The STI lights are worth a lot more because they have some of the other aspects that the WRX doesn't come with. That being said, diode dynamic C lights, massive difference in the car. Black out your headlights, get all LEDs, get LED projectors, get LED fog lights, do the turn signal, do the F1. That makes such a difference. It can get expensive. If you piece it out and do it all in stages, it's actually fairly inexpensive, but makes a huge difference. So those are my 2 honorable mentions. A few more to talk about, but I'm gonna make you guys wait and make you guys watch my video to come, which is the top 5 under $100. That is one of the most exciting videos I've made so far. I've got to take some more beauty shots of the things that I'm telling you guys to look for, because I have a lot of them installed in my car. A lot of them are actually gonna be going into my car, so I gotta take photos anyway. And a lot of them have been installed, but you haven't seen them yet because they're videos to come and they're installs to come in the next couple weeks. So guys, look out for that video in a couple weeks. Or if you're watching this and I've posted this video a while ago, because who knows when you guys are gonna watch this, look at my channel in the videos for that video. Maybe browse through some of the other cool automotive videos. Hey, not telling you what to do, just making a lovely suggestion. And guys, have an awesome day. Stay safe. I know it's COVID. Stay quarantined, stay social distance, stay healthy. Look out for the videos to come. Lots of stuff coming to this channel, both about my daily, my WRX. I'm looking for a BRZ and R35 GTR, both gonna be incredible experiences for me, for the channel, for the progression of the community that I'm trying to build. And I'm gonna be bringing more content about Subaru WRX automotive news, because lots of crazy stuff is happening in the market. New cars are coming out. Lots of cool content to come, I promise. Thank you guys for watching this far through the video. If you have, as always guys, links are in the description below for all the parts that I was talking about. If you stuck this far through the video, I'm gonna be doing a holiday giveaway. Tell me in the comment section below that you were here this long and that you want to be part of that giveaway. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it.